Hello, and welcome to another Common Sense Linux video. In this video, we'll cover your options for installing Linux to your computer. It has now been over a month since Microsoft ended support for Windows 10, with some exceptions. If you've gotten far enough along with your live USB and have decided upon a distro that you want to install, you have several options. Your first option is to just continue running the live USB. Secondly, you can install Linux to an external drive. As an aside, here's a picture of a 2015 Chromebook that Google stopped supporting years ago. Thanks to the instructions I found on the internet, I was able to continue using the Chromebook by installing Linux to an external hard drive. Notice the fine attention to detail and the quality of the construction. I used a piece of double-sided tape to attach the drive to the lid of the laptop. Sure, I lost one of the USB ports, but I'd be proud to take this setup to any blue chip corporation board meeting and then just sit there and bathe in the envy of all those around me. Your third option is to install Linux to the present internal drive. You also have the option to dual boot. And if you wish, you can use a virtual machine. For the work-averse among us, option number one may seem appealing, but you may quickly run out of the 4 GB storage partition you made when you created the USB. Changes, updates, additional programs, all of that adds up and more quickly than you may imagine. And you have to remember to plug in the USB each time and access the boot menu each time. Option 2 is almost like creating a live USB, but a bit more complicated. You actually install Linux to an external drive, and I'm not talking about a simple flash drive, but to an actual external hard drive or SSD. Pitfalls here are the possibility that you may overwrite your Windows install by choosing the wrong drive to install to. If you're using a laptop, this external drive is pretty good sized, as seen in the previous picture, much larger than a flash drive, and attaches to a USB port on the laptop by way of a cable. It'd sort of be like having an external mouse attached to your laptop all the time. If the laptop isn't used on the road much, this may not be too much of a problem. If the computer you're using is a desktop, then you may have a way of attaching the drive inside the computer case as a secondary hard drive. You may still have to access the boot menu each time, but you'll still have your Windows install, and if you're careful, you won't have to transfer whatever you have on your Windows drive to another place. Option number 3 is the most obvious choice if you're convinced that you no longer have any desire to run Microsoft's products and want to be done with them. Just install Linux over the Windows install already on your medium and be done with it. After you've made certain that the distro will work with your computer and that you have moved the files that you want to another location. When you install, everything on that drive will be overwritten. Option 4 would be an iffy one for me. I've done this in the past, but it is really a convoluted process and one that I don't recommend to recent inductees into the Linux world. It involves moving things around on the current Windows install, partitioning the drive, and then installing Linux in the newly created partition. Since Windows seems to want to dominate whatever drive it's on, there may be complications. However, if you feel up to it, there are many videos on YouTube offering instructions on how to dual boot. The fifth option involves using a piece of virtualization software like VMware or VirtualBox or so on, and creating a virtual Linux partition inside the Windows install. It containerizes the Linux install. The real problem here is that you still have to run Windows to operate the virtual machine. And that brings with it the problem that Windows 10 is no longer being supported. So, those are some of the options to consider for your installation of Linux. In the next video, I'll recommend some ways to move whatever you want to keep from your Windows installation to another place. Then, there will be 4 more videos that will show the installation processes for Debian with KDE Plasma, LMDE, Q4OS, and Zorin in action. Although the installers for each of the 4 have essentially the same style installer, they will differ in some ways. Some aspects are easier, some are harder. Thanks for watching. Be sure to watch the next video on how to move your files from Windows to another medium, especially if you're going to use options 2 or 3. See you again in the next video.